Hello. Let's see. Can you hear me? I'm here. It's Teme. We are live. I am just getting settled in here and I am in my office. Yes, I said I would do my lives on my walks in the morning. But today I'm going to do it from the office and it sounds kind of echoey in here. I hope it's not too echoey for you. Now, I want you to know that because I'm in my office, I have the ability to use StreamYard, which means I am now live within our Conquer Conflict Facebook group. I am also live on the Facebook page. So if you're joining me from the page, head on over to the Conquer Conflict Facebook group after this and make sure you hop in there because that's where way more fun and learning happens. And if I have it set up correctly, I'm also live streaming on YouTube. So in order for me to see your comments and your interaction, I am going to pull up my phone here just for those who may be not joining using StreamYard. So you'll see that. Oh, there's a comment. You'll see that. Oh, it's not echoey. Thank you, Facebook user. In order for me to see your comments, you need to give StreamYard permission. So I appreciate you letting me know it's not too echoey. I'm just going to pull it up here so I can see any other comments as we go. But we're going to talk about what happens when our beliefs get in the way of our success. We don't want that. All right, give me 1 second here. I'll turn down my volume because I don't want the echoing here. There we go. All right. 2 comments. Let's see. Oh, hey, Teresa. Thanks for watching. I can now see your comments. Yeah, I can see your comments in StreamYard too. It just shows up as Facebook user on StreamYard, but I see you on my phone. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let me grab my notes here because the benefits of doing this from home is I can have some notes now as well. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Tammy, and I help employees who are struggling with workplace conflict and bullies to drop the drama, but not in the way that you might think. So today what we're going to talk about and focus on is what happens when our beliefs get in the way. So, beliefs are really good for a lot of reasons, and you've probably felt the impact of beliefs in your life. So, such as you have a belief that you can learn a new skill, maybe it's putting together a shelf, or it's learning a new language, and so you take on the behaviors to learn those things. Maybe you think you're worthy of love, and so then you go out and you build relationships, and you nurture those relationships. And the other thing may be that you have a skill set that you think is valuable and you can make money, right? So when we have a belief in something, it can propel us forward in many successful ways. But what happens when it's blocking us? We sometimes call these self-limiting beliefs. When things go wrong within our relationships, we want to do a belief check to see if that's what is blocking our success. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples here. So first, we don't always recognize that it's our belief that is causing us a block because we speak in our beliefs as if they are facts, right? They come across as what we call in the communication world, static evaluation. So those kind of statements such as Jim is lazy. That means Jim is always lazy, has been in the past, will continue to be in the future. And so when we speak our beliefs as facts, sometimes they're hard to see. So we do want to do a quick belief check and do we recognize them? And that would be one way to find out if your beliefs are coming across as false facts, I would call them. So we want to start to fact check ourselves. And the way you do that is you start to ask yourself, is this 100% true all the time? Like, is this something I could put in a book, will always be true, needs to be documented? Or is this actually an opinion that I have misrepresented as a fact? And if it's an opinion that you have misrepresented as a fact, ding, 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 we have a belief system that is getting in the way of our success in our relationships, okay? And so then I need to ask myself, is this a good or bad belief? And is it helping or hindering me? So in the case of working with Jim, say you think he's lazy because he's always left his dishes at the sink. He never washes them. And that's your evidence. And then you start to notice that You know what? He's always here 15 minutes late. So what's the problem with him? He can't get out of bed in the morning. He's too lazy. He doesn't respect timings. And you start to look for all this evidence that fits your narrative. And you're overlooking all the other things in the workplace that would be contradictory to that. So is this belief helping or hindering you? When we speak our beliefs as facts, we tend to look for the evidence in our environment that supports our fact. And so then you would notice Jim comes in to work at 8:15 instead of 8 o'clock like everybody else. What's going on? Why can't he get here? What you don't do is you don't ask for conversation and you don't verify that, well, he takes the bus and the only bus that gets there is this one. It's the first one that runs. It's the only time he can get to work. And it's already hashed out with the boss. Like the boss is good because he knows Jim is going to take 15 minutes off his lunch break. But to you, he looks lazy. And to the boss, he looks like he's being proactive. And so this creates a tense relationship between, we'll just say John and Jim, Jay's today. And this confirmation bias then blinds us to the stuff that's in the environment that actually disproves our theory, right? So maybe Jim goes back at the end of the day and not only does he do his dish, but he cleans up everybody else's dishes and he never complains about it. Maybe Jim is the one who's always getting the photocopying off the photocopier and handing it out to everybody, making sure they have their paperwork. Perhaps Jim is the one who's volunteering for all the extra work, but we don't see any of that. Because darn it all, Jim doesn't wash his dang cup in the kitchen when I want him to do it, right? Have you ever had that? Have you worked in a place where the dishes weren't done or there was one thing that has bothered you and kept you focused and it has actually taken away from your relationship? Let me know in the comments below. I know there's a bit of a lag, so I'm just going to have me a drink of water. And I can't believe 7 minutes has come and gone already. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to challenge those self-limiting beliefs. We want to look at them and ask ourselves, is this 100% true all the time? And we also want to challenge ourselves to open up our eyes and look beyond the evidence that we have collected and go, oh, you know what? Jim actually only arrives here at 8:15 on Mondays and Tuesdays, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he's actually here early. What? Go figure. That's because he carpools on those days. Or maybe his wife drops him off, right? But who hasn't worked in a place like that? Yes, I agree. Thank you, Facebook user. I'm not sure who you're at. It doesn't say your name, so I feel a bit impersonal. Let's see. Does it show up there? No. Okay, so when we start to look around at the other evidence, as I was saying, perhaps Jim is actually there only late Mondays and Tuesdays because that's the day he has to bus, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he actually gets dropped off by his wife or he carpools and he's actually there early, but we don't see it because we're focused on 8:15 and we're focused on Jim being lazy and we're focused on him being lazy. We just can't get past that. So that would be the thing to start to do to challenge if you have a belief that is getting in the way of your success, because this tension between Jim and John is going to show up in other places, right? It's going to turn out to be, well, I don't trust him to be on my team. I don't want to be in a group with him. Or if I'm assigned to something with him, I'm going to switch out and get somebody else to do the work. It becomes a bigger problem. And then I'm going to tell you what happens with John. John, who thinks he's protecting himself and creating barriers and boundaries by removing himself from a situation that is unpleasant, now has the potential and the opportunity to be called a bully. And that was never John's intention. John was just like, okay, I can't work with this dude. I'm going to go over here. But Jim is now recognizing that. Jim is sensing that John is avoiding him. John has distanced himself. John is no longer talking with him. He's talking with others. John no longer says good morning. John doesn't include him. John doesn't get his paper from the photocopier, but he gets everybody else's. So you see what John is trying to do is put distance and space. And now he gets labeled as a bully, because he doesn't know how to deal with this conflict. So that is an important thing to recognize if you're dealing with this kind of stress, whether you're the John or the Jim, is to have a darn conversation and to share your observations and to ask for clarification and to see if your belief system is actually the root cause of the conflict in the workplace or at home or wherever this might be. Some people will ask me if this can happen with an internal conflict. So the example I gave is a workplace. And can it happen like with something in myself, a belief of myself? Absolutely, 100%. So let's just say I have a desire to help people, which I do. And I know that one of the ways to reach people is to come on live and to message, stay active on social media. But what if I have a real fear of that? So internally, I have this conflict and I have this belief that I can't do a live session. I can't reach out in this manner. And so then I don't do it. And I keep all of this brilliant content and all of these resources and all of these tools that will help people to myself. Because my fear, my belief about my self-limiting beliefs that I can't have a conversation with a camera and you all you lovely people will stop me from doing the thing I need to do. So yes, these self-limiting beliefs, these beliefs that get in the way of our own success can exist internally as well as externally within relationships. And I heard this, one of my coaches actually had said this to me in our group. If you had the cure for cancer, would you share that? And that is such a profound question. Because if you're dealing with interpersonal relationships or conflict within yourself and your beliefs are getting in the way, but you knew you had the answer that you could fix the problems and you could take all this pain and suffering away from somebody else, would you share it? And the answer is likely yes. Yes, I would. I wouldn't want to keep that to myself. I'd want to share that. And so the belief that you cannot do something is really often disguising a fear and anxiety. Typically, it's a fear of failure, a fear of being judged, which is going to happen. We're going to fail. We're going to be judged. It's about what we do with that matters, right? So yeah, why would you keep all of this information? And why would you want to continue to have relationships that suffer because you have a belief that is blocking you from success? Move forward. Move forward. Okay, so the strategy here is to identify if your belief is being disguised as a fact. And then to challenge that belief by looking at what else is happening in the environment around you. To recognize that that's what we call a confirmation bias. I can't remember if I said that earlier, but a confirmation bias is when you only take the information in your environment that matches your perception, or you twist it so that it matches your perception and you discard all the rest. You don't even look at the other stuff that disputes your version of the truth because we like to be right. We like to know that our judgments are accurate. And so we can't afford to look at that stuff because it means if I got it wrong, then it's my fault. Okay. It's Teresa talking. Well, thank you, Teresa. Hello, Jennifer. I see there's another lady watching here too. And I don't have the other Facebook and YouTube up for comments. So if you are watching, you'll have to just give StreamYard permission. All right. So that's kind of what I was going to share with you today is that beliefs can get in the way. If you're feeling stuck, ask yourself what it is you think is going on in the situation. What is fact? What is opinion? What other information do you need to overcome it? And then challenge those beliefs to look at the other data. That's it. Voila. Simple, easy. Get out of your own way and move towards success. All right. I will be here tomorrow as well. I am going to change my lives to later in the day. I was doing them in the mornings all of last week. For those of you who know, I'm in a 21-day challenge to do a Facebook Live. And I was doing them on my morning walks. And as much fun as that was, I really enjoyed bringing them to you from outdoors. What I found is I would spend my walk thinking about what I wanted to share and how I wanted to share it. And what I usually use my time for in the morning is that's a real creative space for me. And I do a lot of thinking and a lot of just brainstorming, and I solve the world's problems, to be honest, when I'm out there on my own. And I noticed that this week I was missing that. I was kind of feeling like I was detached from that part of me. So I'm going to reclaim my space in the morning. And I'm going to not come live in the morning. I will do it in the evening. 6 o'clock typically is what I think I'm going to aim for. So you'll see that posted inside the group. If you haven't already joined us in the group, head over to Facebook, Conquer Conflict Facebook group. And if you haven't already got your download on the 10 Safe Conversation Starters, those are there for you to consume and to help move you out of your way and towards that happy, peaceful life you're looking for. Thanks for joining me, guys.